Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself. Hello. What is going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And before we watch Monday Night Raw in an hour, we are here live on YouTube for my live review of WWE's Clash at the Castle 2024. Took place this past Saturday, June 15th, 2024, at the OVO Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland. We're going to take a look back at the results of the show and discuss, the bests, the worsts, the good, the bad, the ugly, what I liked, what I didn't like. We're all going to discuss it there. I apologize I didn't get to this yesterday, though. I was busy for Father's Day. Had a softball game. Didn't go well, sadly. I also spent some time with my own father. And, of course, also, because I announced it in my preview moments, my preview stream, that this November, Damian's going to be the daddy. So it was technically my first Father's Day as an actual father. Well, pre-daddy. Since my can't talk. My baby's not going to be here until November. Now, of course, as I did mention this, and I'll mention it a few more times, just so people know. Again, eventually, soon, I am moving the office downstairs to my basement. So you will see a new background, more of like a wooden panel look, probably with some stuff in the background. It'll kind of feel like my old bedroom, except, not the blue walls, but some stuff that was in my bedroom are downstairs in the basement or the man cave. But eventually we will be moving down there because the office is going to be turning into the nursery. Just got to get that started soon, clean up a little bit here. And yeah, there's a couple other things to come to as well, but we'll talk about that later. Because I'm hungry. We're having a hot dog shop for dinner tonight. So I do want to get this review out of the way with, but of course do a quality review. And we'll move on from there. My overall thoughts on Clash the Castle. It's tough to determine. I didn't hate this show. I definitely didn't love this show. I did mention if one or two things didn't happen on the show, that I was going to come up here and rant. And I still kind of do want to rant. But I also feel like what they did kind of at least leave a direction for the things that didn't go the way I thought should have gone. They left a direction, but I don't know yet where they're going. But nobody felt dead in the water, in my opinion. As far as I could think of. That didn't feel dead in the water. Yes, there was moments that were ruined. There were also a couple botches throughout the night, which I heard apparently there was an issue with the ring ropes. So I'm gonna forgive those botches as much as I can. Like when Jade Cargill went for that springboard and then she slipped and fell. In the main event when Damian Priest got his ankle stuck in the ropes and he was limping for most of the match after that. Haven't heard any updates, but I do hope he's okay. And a couple other little botches that happened in there as well. But I want to forgive those. Again, not a bad match on the card. It's just that I just felt like there were some moments they should have capitalized on. But one that they did go ahead and give to one of the Scottish wrestlers, I saw it and I was like, really? Like, of all the ones on this card, you picked them? Not that they're bad. It's just that you've barely used them so far. Why are you giving them this moment over a few others who may have earned it a little bit more, in my opinion? But we again will talk about it for sure as we get into it. So, we're going to go in order. And surprisingly, I think this is one of the maybe the first time or one of the few times, the matches are in order of how they happen on the show. But we will roll in as we started off the show with Cody Rhodes versus the phenomenal AJ Styles for the Undisputed WWE Championship. This, by far, in my opinion, was the best match of the show. And I thought it was great. It was a great, physical brawl. And, I know I've been talking. I still feel like I kind of want to make another short about this. I was worried a bit that they were definitely going in this direction with Cody, where he was being too good of a guy. Like John Cena, always energetic, kind of oblivious to the bad and whatnot. I was getting kind of worried. Like this match and the past couple weeks, I'm like, okay, give me this angrier side of Cody, and I'm totally cool with that. I'd rather see Cody show more emotions, not just be like the I love wrestling type guy all the time, basically. But I thought both these guys had a great match. I also like, of course, the involvement with Mama Rhodes as well. Although she did kind of mess up the first slap when she tried to slap AJ. I thought that was hilarious. She kind of went like, what not. And I just thought it was hilarious the way she kind of just swatted at him and then missed and whatnot. It was kind of funny, I thought. There was a little bit of blood, which is why I think this match showed a little bit more, because they gave it a little bit of blood. Not a lot, but a little bit. They brawled around the arena a little bit. There were handcuffs that got involved as well. Kendo sticks, chair shots, a few other nice spots. I think AJ Styles did go for... Oh yeah, I think my favorite spot of the match had to be when AJ Styles was going for that phenomenal forearm with the chain wrapped around his arm. And Cody grabs a chair, chucks it at AJ as he's about to spring off the ropes, and AJ falls off the ropes and goes to the table. That was an insane spot right there. I forgot those tables were even there at the time when it happened. Eventually, though, after Cody gets handcuffed, he was able to find the key. He was able to get out of the handcuffs, and he handcuffed AJ to the ropes. And he walloped AJ with the chair. And then finally, when AJ still wouldn't quit, Cody got the steel steps, went into the ring, and he's about to just chuck them at AJ in the corner. And that's when AJ cowers down and goes, "Oh, I quit, fearing for his life. But then, of course, Cody still slams him with the stairs afterwards. Which I like that he kind of, added in that extra oomph. Yeah, you may have quit, but still smacking you anyways. So Cody retains, as I did expect to do so. Like I said, I do kind of wish they would have at least, made it feel like AJ had a chance, got the OC involved a little bit more. I don't think the OC got involved at all in this match. Again, the booking again is just weird. Why do they sometimes, involve these stables and sometimes they don't involve them? I don't know. It's so, mixed back and forth. But after the match, though, Cody was on the apron. On the stage. Creeping up behind him was Solo Sikoa. I'm like, hoo. Cody, might want to watch your back. Turns around and Cody is getting attacked by the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. But then the odds were evened out because Kevin Owens and Randy Orton came out and helped fend off the Bloodline. But after they were done there, though, Randy Orton kind of looked over Cody's shoulder and was staring down his title, which is obviously a tease that feud is coming. Now, I am starting to hear that they're not going to do Rock and Cody at SummerSlam. Wee bit disappointed by that, if that is the case. I did hear The Rock got hurt, but I think the injury's not that severe. He can still work out and whatnot, I think. But it looks like more they're probably going to do Cody versus Randy at SummerSlam, which, I hate it. But I just don't want them to save Cody and The Rock for next year's WrestleMania. Next year's WrestleMania needs to be Rock and Roman, and that is it. Do it then, please. So, I don't know. We'll see, though. But it looks like at Money in the Bank it's going to be Cody versus Solo. Only thing is, though, is that I wish they would have done it when I thought Solo actually had a chance to win. I mean, yeah, he's definitely, gained some steam again from this new bloodline, him being the interim tribal chief. But I still don't feel like he's quite a threat yet to Cody's championship. And I would have rather had him face Cody when he was a threat to Cody's championship. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But very great open. In my opinion, definitely one of the better matches of the year so far. Definitely a match of the year contender, I would say. Which I thought was really good. The second match on the card was this triple threat women's tag team championship match. The champs, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they took on the team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, and Scottish's Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. The match was fine. I mean, it was fun. They gave these women, a lot of time. I did kind of feel bad for Jade. And again, I know a couple months ago I was saying that I was worried that they were kind of handing things to her. But I am going to be honest, I have been seeing mass improvements for each of her matches. This match alone, she was doing some two people power moves at the same time and whatnot, and showing some agility in there and whatnot. Again, she is definitely grasping it quicker than I expected her to do. Of course, that botch when she went to spring off the ropes, that botch. But like I said, there was some issues with the rope, so I'm not gonna hold the wrestlers to that for this show. The thing is though, and again, going into this show, I'm like, there's 4 wrestlers, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Piper Niven, and Drew McIntyre, who are all from Scotland. And I'm thinking, they're definitely not going to have all of them win. Because like I said, this show featured a lot of new, fresher talents getting an opportunity. Most of them because we're wrestling in their home country. So I thought, there's no way they're not going to give any of them. We're definitely not going to give all of them, but they definitely have to give somebody here a moment. And of course, I thought that somebody was definitely going to be Drew. Boy, was I wrong. Because in this match, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn surprisingly won. They pinned Shayna or Zoe. I can't remember which one it was they pinned. But just like my jaw dropping when the Iconics, Iconic! After Peyton Royce has their next baby, maybe they could come back. I don't know. I know they both have given birth to children, but again, Shawn Spears is back in NXT. You never know. But they gave Alba Fire and Isla Dawn the win, which I was very surprised. Happy for them, but surprised. Because again, I thought long-term wise, I thought Bianca and Jade were going to be champs for quite a while. I get they were giving them a moment, and I do feel bad. I think I heard one of them, their mother passed away this past week or something. I forgot who one of them had a death in the family. I do think both of them are great talents. Don't get me wrong. But again, the problem I had with this was you've barely had them on TV since they got called up to the main roster. Like, I think the only matches I could think they've been in was Alba Fire having that match against Shayna this past week on Raw. I know they wrestled Ronda and Shayna in that women's tag title unification match. Alba Fire was in the Rumble, and that's it, I think. Like you've only had them wrestle not even 5 matches since getting called up from NXT last year. Like, no offense, like, people who are not established on TV at all, like, I get it, we're in their home country, but of all 4 of them, the 2 of them, Piper and Drew, why did you give the people who's had the least amount of TV time the moment, but the ones who've had more TV time, you didn't? Like, I just, again, to me, it's like whenever... It's like someone, again, just, I'm not saying a jobber winning the title, but again, it's like, we haven't been presented, like, people who didn't watch NXT, they don't know Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And yes, they have a moment in their front home country, but again, it's like, you barely done anything with them, so why give them the titles? You know, like, I would have rather had them be built up, because, like, even whenever Shayna had her match with Alba Fire last week, she dominated her. And I'm like, you're not making them look like they're viable threats to those tag titles. I mean, I think the reign's going to be short. I don't see them holding them that long. I think Bianca and Jade will get them back very soon. But I was just kind of head-scratching. And kind of stunned by this. I'm just like, again, like, you've barely had them on TV. Why are you giving them the titles? But again, I'm sure it's a moment both of those women will definitely remember. And again, I am happy for them. I just wish they would have given them some type of a direction. Or at least given them, like, some type of momentum before actually going through with this. Just my opinion. But yeah, so... The Unholy Union are your new women's tag team champions. Match number 3 is for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable. This match... This was the one that I said that if they didn't put the title on Chad Gable, I was going to be pissed. I was going to rant, rip them a bone, saying that they didn't capitalize again. But it's hard for me to 100% rant on this. First off, the match itself was fine. It was probably one of their weaker matches, but I felt like it was more of like a character development match rather than an actual wrestling match. Because Chad was really seething his teeth into making sure Otis helped him win. Testing Maxine to make sure that she would win. And it was like Gable fired up at his most. But then things went rogue. Because I know there was a spot where Sami had Chad in the corner. Sami went for a haluva kick, but when Chad ducked out of the way, Sami came this close to hitting Maxine Dupree with the haluva kick. And then later in the match, Chad Gable went for like a chop, went for like Sami Zayn. I think Sami got out of the way or something like that, and did a chop block to the back of Maxine's leg. And of course, Otis again having moments of he was gonna, stay on Chad's side, but then he didn't full on physically turn on Chad, but he did walk out on him because obviously he didn't. Otis is a gentleman. He had a peach at one point, but he carried the injured Maxine Dupree out and walked and left Chad Gable high and dry. And that, of course, did lead to Sami Zayn retaining the Intercontinental Championship. And then as Sami's leaving, he's going, "No more. That's it. We're done." And Chad Gable's in the ring just like... You can see the blood just boiling inside of him. His face getting all red, the anger in there. It's just... It felt like... You see, again, am I disappointed they didn't give the belt to Chad Gable? Yes. The guy just re-signed a new deal. This is the hottest he has ever been. And again, I felt like they set the table perfectly that you could have had him do it in this match. But what I got from it was, I guess they're taking even babier steps. Like, I thought this would be the match where we did finally get the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile turning heel. Because Chad Gable, although he still views Otis as his number one guy, has still lost faith because Otis either, helps Chad or he hesitates. And I was thinking he probably, since Chad knows this is probably his final shot, this is the third shot he's had for the Intercontinental title, he would go to any length to make sure he actually wins it. But instead, he just relied on Otis. It didn't work, and now he is probably going to rip Otis to shreds tonight on Raw. Unless if, of course, that doesn't happen, or I don't know. But it felt like to me, like there's still a direction for this Gable character, especially with how they shot him, with how angry he looked. Like, if he was pissed off before, oh boy, is he going to be even more, crazier now. But to me, it felt like they took a smaller step than I felt they should have. Like, if this was only like Chad Gable's like second shot at the IC title, I would be able to think, okay, I get it. But now it's kind of like, okay, like, we don't want it to be Randy Orton and Christian from 2011, where Christian had like an excuse and like hid behind lawyers for like every single reason why he lost his matches. Like, I'm worried they're going to start having Chad Gable doing that as well. Because, I think is if they want to, go that direction with him and the Creed brothers, cool. I just felt at this point he should have had a title. Because if he's not going to get another shot at Sami again, then what's he going to do in the meantime? So, I don't know where they're going to go with Chad from this. Again, I felt he should have won that. He should have won the title here. But, we'll see. The weakest match of the card, I thought for sure, was definitely Bayley and Piper Niven. Not saying it was horrible. It's just, again, Piper Niven she had a solid performance, but she didn't have that big breakout performance I was hoping she would have. Like, I still think they need to turn her babyface, because I think that's where she gels more, if I'm being real. I did like that finish, though, that, like, crucifix-type pin roll-up thing that Bayley used on Piper. I thought that was pretty cool. I also liked how, of course, Chelsea Green got ejected. Then she tried coming back out with a luchador mask on. It was hilarious. Something I forgot to mention, though, I keep forgetting in my SmackDown reviews to mention. Because I thought of this because Samantha Irwin was there announcing the whole show. And she announced SmackDown this past Friday. Well, despite the fact also they now have Chelsea's entrance before, instead of the shh, it's Chelsea. It's the Chelsea Green. So I don't know why they changed it, but I still love Samantha Irwin's announcing of Chelsea Green's name. So far though, if I'm being real, I'm not a fan of Alicia Taylor. As my wife even says too, it just feels like you watch the way she, enunciates when she speaks into the microphone. It literally looks like she's trying to be Samantha Irwin. And she's trying to, look energetic, but it's like the energy's not coming out. It's like, Samantha's like, the following contest! And Alicia's like, the following contest! She's tensing up, but it's like she's barely coming out. Like, to me, it just looks awkward. When I have been slowly watching NXT Battleground, And I've gone very slow because I've only watched 2 matches. But like when around here Mike Rome, I'm just like, I really miss this energy on SmackDown with the announcing. Because I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or I'm just not a big fan of Alicia Taylor. So like seeing, Samantha out there, of course, announcing Chelsea Green, just like, made me, okay, yeah, we need this more often. But again, the match was fine. Bayley retained, and again, they're just just giving her something to do, and I'm pretty sure she's going to drop the belt to Nia at SummerSlam. So we have that, and then the main event, we got Le Campion Damian Priest taking on Scotland's own Drew McIntyre for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Judgment Day is barred from ringside. So this match, first off, it got affected a little because of that botch with Damian Priest getting his ankle stuck in the ropes. Which again, there were issues with the ropes all night. And again, I'm not going to hold that accountable towards my grade because it's not the wrestler's fault. Damian did finish the match. I think he's okay, but again, I haven't heard anything new, but I think he's okay. He still fought like crazy, trying to still use that right foot whenever he could. And he was in pain a lot, but he still got the job done, making him look tough. And I do like that they're building more and more sympathy on him because he's trying to prove that he's not just a paper champion. Which that's also why I'm somewhat fine with him winning this match. But at the same time, Drew McIntyre just re-signed. He basically threatened to leave several times the past year. And I really thought he was going to leave. But then he did re-sign. He has had, in my opinion, one of the most justified heel characters I have seen in my 11 years as a wrestling fan. And they made one thing right, giving him the world title at WrestleMania. Yes, he dropped it because of CM Punk's interference. Well, Punk beating him down after McIntyre gloated at him about it. And I thought they set this up to fix 2 wrongs from, a couple years ago. Well, they didn't here. Well, first off, there were still a couple good spots. I did love the spot where McIntyre claymored Priest through the barricade, which was sick as hell. A couple really nice spots there as well. Of course, Drew getting the hometown heroes welcome. Also, by the way, thoughts and prayers for Drew as well, because apparently his wife had emergency surgery and had to stay in the States. So I do hope she is okay. He had a K on his wrist for her. I forgot what her real name actually is. But anyways, towards the end of the match, though, one of them knocked the other to the referee, and the referee went flying off the apron. Drew did hit a claymore on Priest, and everybody's counting. And then we see, and I did love how this was shot. We see the crowd and a head going through it, obviously showing there is a referee making his way to the ring. And then they shot the referee from behind, and I could tell by the hair who it was. But the referee went 1, 2, stopped. And I'm like, it's Punk. And they cut to the other angle, and sure enough, it was Punk saying it was 2. And Drew obviously just seething because he literally just had the world title won. He backs Punk into a corner. Punk low blows him. Sets up for Damian Priest to hit a South of Heaven. And the actual referee revived himself and was able to get the count. And Damian Priest won the match. Now, as I said, funny enough, I actually just got a text from my friend. Let me see here. Let me read this. Actually, this is an update on Damian Priest. My friend has texted me and said, now that the dust has settled, PW Insider Elite has learned some backstage information about both Priest and McIntyre following their Clash of Castle main event. Regarding the champion, the belief from within Priest is that Priest is 100% okay following a scary slip-up on Saturday night, and that there are currently no plans to change any plans or stories to accommodate an injury. While previous reporting had been optimistic but ultimately inconclusive, they report that Priest is fine and that he's either extremely lucky or extremely good at selling. So he is okay. I guess nothing with McIntyre, but I don't think he's hurt. He was clear to wrestle, but yeah, it sounds like Priest is okay. Thank goodness. I'm okay that Priest retained because, again, I'm glad to see that he is hitting the story. He's trying to prove he's not a paper champion. Him winning this match does kind of help with that. And it does help his direction. But I guess it's not that Drew lost again that I'm upset about it. Well, I shouldn't say upset, but that I'm like head scratching. I get it. They're trying to, further the story with him and Punk. I know they're probably just about to clear Punk, which he announced apparently on the press conference that I think he is seeing a doctor today. He won't be at Raw, but he plans on showing up at SmackDown in his hometown on Friday, which a lot of people think that's when Punk's going to announce he's medically cleared. And I'm pretty sure Drew will probably crash that show and send Punk out in an ambulance. Or basically get his revenge on Punk. Because I'm pretty sure now Drew really wants to get back at Punk. It was one thing to embarrass him in front of 80,000 people at WrestleMania. But when you did it in his home country, probably a moment he probably wanted more, especially also with his wife's condition currently. Ugh. My thing though is that didn't make, I would have been a little more accepting. Not saying I'm not, but I would have thought it would have been even bigger if it was like the first time Punk had done something to McIntyre. Finally got his revenge on him. But the thing is Punk kind of got his revenge twice already. He beat down Drew at WrestleMania, which led to Damian cashing in. He also distracted Drew from winning that fatal 4-way number one contenders match for Backlash. To me, it's why did Drew want a stipulation where Punk couldn't get involved? Why? I mean, I get why they did the stipulation with Judgment Day being barred, but why didn't Drew fight for some way to protect himself from Punk? It's very obvious, even not just in those two instances, but other times, Punk is lurking around waiting for Drew. Why wouldn't Drew think there could be a chance Punk would show up? I don't think it's a big deal, but to me it's kind of he could have tried to protect himself a little bit more, if I'm being honest. But that's how the show ended. That's my couple little gripes. Like I said, it was a fun show. I gave the show a B. It was fun to watch, just some questionable things in there. Again, they gave Unholy Union the women's tag titles, but yet they've won on TV 3 times the past year. They didn't give Chad Gable the Intercontinental title, but I still feel like there was a little bit of juice left in that story based off of how it ended. But I'm also wondering, how are you going to give Chad another title shot without it feeling like he's just being another Christian? And then again, I disappointed Drew didn't win. And like I said, I felt like at least started making a little more sense. He should have had a stipulation that could have known that he was trying to keep Punk out. But it's done now. We're on the road now to Money in the Bank, which I saw the promo for it with those crooks, the graphics for it look pretty cool. I don't think I'll be able to duplicate that whenever I do my match card, which hopefully this week, because again, we're coming up on that very quickly till we have a few week gap for SummerSlam. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Raw tonight. Again, we'll definitely see, what's next for Chad Gable. We'll, of course, see, what if Drew McIntyre shows up. Although I feel like he probably won't show up till Friday whenever Punk goes to SmackDown to probably announce his return to the ring in Chicago. Of course, we got to get the fallout from Liv Morgan And meet me at the hotel room. I'm kind of make a short about that as well, but I gotta be careful because I don't want to post the photos of what Liv has been doing to Dom, because apparently I heard some people saying the photos got flagged online, so I don't want to chance that also as well. But yeah, we got a lot of fun, and of course the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. See what Raw brings. We're now on the road to Money in the Bank, and who will be Mr. and Miss Money in the Bank? We'll find out soon. But guys, that's my review of Clash of the Castle 2024. I gave the show a B. A couple of people with some thoughts in the live chat. We got Tyler. I forgot to read your thoughts again. I'm sorry about that, Tyler. But he said, hi, Mike. He thought the ending was awful. Punk ruins Drew's moments, and the fans were pissed. Of course. Chris Leclerc says, congrats to Bayley's #1 fan, Izzy, on becoming the youngest Mission Pro Wrestling champion in history. Yes, I have been seeing online that Little Izzy, Bayley's #1 fan, which was in NXT, is wrestling now. I think she's only, 17, 18 years old, and she became a champion recently. So congratulations to her for sure. Tyler says they need to do a third match with AJ and Cody at SummerSlam, and don't do Cody and Rock or Cody and Randy at SummerSlam. Unfortunately, I don't think the feud's continuing, buddy. I'm sorry. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell. Ooh. Wrestling News 365. I do think that is a great idea. That would be nice. Maybe at SummerSlam, we'll see. And the reason why I realized why they didn't give the belt to Drew, because I still feel like if you would do Punk versus Drew, would you give Punk the win? But also, because even I thought about this with his match with Seth Rollins, that they would have done that at WrestleMania. Would you have given the belt to Punk? Personally, as much as I love CM Punk, I don't think they should have given him the belt at WrestleMania if he would have been fought for it. Not yet, at least. Maybe someday you can give Punk the belt back. But I also feel like Punk really doesn't need the belt. Heck, I think he even said when he was in AEW, he didn't care if he was world champion or not. He just wants to, put on good wrestling stories. Cody Horker says, are you excited about the Wyatt 6 tonight? That's right. I keep hearing we are going to be seeing the Wyatt 6 tonight. I'm about to say, it's about time. We'll see what happens. Why didn't Chad Gable win the Intercontinental title? Again, I don't know. I feel like they took a smaller step. I still felt like they should have had the Creed brothers interfere in this match. But instead, I guess Chad put his whole faith in Otis, and it still backfired. So I feel like now Chad's going to really go crazy. And will CM Punk stay healthy enough to even feud Kevin Owens and AJ Styles or Finn Balor? I hope so. He has been injury prone. And of course, WWE schedule is a little more rougher, but I'm pretty sure he's on a lighter schedule than most others. But we will see, of course, how that goes. But that's going to do it, guys. And also, again, because there's a couple people in the live chat and probably haven't heard this yet, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, I said in my preview as well, we will soon be doing live streams or any of my content now down in the basement. Because, again, Damian is going to be a daddy this coming November. And we're turning the office into the nursery. So soon, we're going to be getting started with the nursery soon. Soon, though, or I'm sorry, if I give in my inner grizzled young veterans with Liverpool's #1, whichever record was, Zach Gibson, going soon to be moving down to the basement in the man cave will be, of course, the office. So we will be seeing a new background here very soon with more like the wood-looking panel walls. But yeah, I just want to mention there's a few people in a lot of chat who don't know yet. But yes, don't want to get that out there. But yeah, with that being said, guys, that's going to do it. Again, I will do the Raw and SmackDown reviews this week. Still got to finish watching NXT Battleground. I will do a recorded review of that, not live, but recorded, just to check it out for something new. Money in the Bank card as well. And I did take a brief break from the Wolf Bell 2 Let's Play, but I will try to get back to it this week as well. And again, there's just some other things that I'm trying to work on as well and get to the channel as soon as possible as well. So, That does it, guys. Thank you for joining me for this Clash the Castle review. What are your guys' thoughts on Clash the Castle? I gave the show a B. Do you guys feel a little disappointed by some of the results? Were there some missed opportunities? Do you think it was a good idea to put the tag belts on the Unholy Union? I think Chad Gable and Drew McIntyre should have won their titles. How do you think Piper Niven did in her first her singles match in front of her home country? And of course, did you think Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles was a match of the year candidate? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!